Have you ever struggled with putting yourself first or prioritizing others? It's a common dilemma that many of us face on a daily basis. This internal conflict can be challenging and often leaves us feeling torn between our own needs and the needs of those around us. We're taught from a young age to be caring and selfless, to put others before ourselves. This is a noble and important lesson, but it can sometimes come at the expense of our own dreams and aspirations. On the other hand, we're also encouraged to pursue our dreams, to take care of ourselves, and to strive for personal success and fulfillment. This creates a constant tug-of-war within us, a battle between selflessness and self-care. It can feel like walking a tightrope, trying to maintain balance without falling to one side or the other. The struggle to find this balance is something that many people experience, and it can be a source of significant stress and anxiety. This is the delicate balance between self-love and love for others. Self-love is about recognizing our own worth, taking care of our mental and physical health, and pursuing our passions and interests. Love for others, on the other hand, involves extending compassion, care, and support to the people around us, whether they are family, friends, or even strangers. It's about recognizing our own worth, and it's about extending compassion and care to the people around us. Practicing self-compassion means being kind to ourselves, forgiving our mistakes, and understanding that we are deserving of love and care. At the same time, helping others and being there for them in their times of need is equally important. Finding this balance is crucial for living a fulfilling and meaningful life. When we are able to balance self-love with love for others, we create a harmonious and satisfying existence. This balance allows us to pursue our goals and dreams while also being there for the people who matter most to us. It's not always easy to find this balance. There will be times when we feel overwhelmed by our responsibilities and the demands placed upon us. We may struggle to prioritize our own needs, or we may feel guilty for taking time for ourselves. This is a natural part of the balancing act, and it's important to acknowledge these feelings without letting them consume us. Sometimes we overextend ourselves for others, and we might neglect our own needs in the process. This can lead to burnout, exhaustion, and a sense of resentment. It's important to recognize when we are giving too much and to take steps to restore our own well-being. This might mean setting boundaries, saying no to certain requests, or taking time for self-care activities that rejuvenate us. Other times we may focus too much on ourselves, which can lead to neglecting our relationships and responsibilities. This can create feelings of isolation and disconnection from the people we care about. It's important to find a balance that allows us to nurture our relationships while also taking care of ourselves. The key is to find a sustainable middle ground. This means being mindful of our own needs and the needs of others and making conscious choices that support both. It involves being flexible and adaptable, recognizing that the balance may shift over time and in different situations. This means prioritizing both our well-being and the well-being of others. It involves nurturing ourselves and our relationships and finding ways to integrate self-care into our daily lives. This might include activities like exercise, meditation, spending time in nature, or simply taking a few moments each day to relax and recharge. It's about understanding that self-care isn't selfish, and it's about realizing that we can't pour from an empty cup. Taking care of ourselves allows us to be more present, compassionate, and effective in our interactions with others. By finding this balance, we can create a more fulfilling and meaningful life for ourselves and those around us. We all have needs. We need time for ourselves to recharge and pursue our passions. We also have an innate desire to connect with others, and we find joy in helping those around us. Balancing these needs can feel like walking a tightrope. It requires constant adjustments and a willingness to listen to our inner voice. Sometimes we need to set boundaries to protect our time and energy. Other times, we need to push ourselves outside of our comfort zones to show up for others. It's about recognizing that our needs and the needs of others are equally important. Finding this balance is a journey, not a destination. There will be times when we lean too far in one direction or the other, and that's okay. The important thing is to keep striving for that sweet spot where we can honor both our own needs and the needs of those we love. Self-care isn't selfish, it's essential. When we take care of ourselves, we're better equipped to take care of others. Think of it like this: you can't pour from an empty cup. Self-care means different things to different people. It might be taking a long bath, reading a book, or going for a walk in nature. It could be pursuing a hobby, spending time with loved ones, or simply saying no to something we don't have the energy for. The important thing is to find activities that fill our cup and make us feel good. When we prioritize self-care, we're sending a powerful message to ourselves. We're saying that we're worthy of love, care, and attention. And when we feel good about ourselves, we're more likely to show up as our best selves in all areas of our lives. We're more patient, more understanding, and more capable of giving to others from a place of fullness, not emptiness. Just as self-care is essential, so too is caring for others. Helping others, whether through small acts of kindness or more significant contributions, brings a sense of purpose and connection to our lives. When we focus on something beyond ourselves, we tap into a wellspring of empathy and compassion. This can be incredibly fulfilling. It reminds us that we're part of something larger than ourselves. Whether it's volunteering our time, donating to a cause we believe in, or simply lending a listening ear to a friend in need, acts of kindness have a ripple effect. They not only benefit the recipient but also the giver. Giving doesn't have to be a grand gesture. Even small acts of kindness can make a big difference. A smile, a compliment, or a helping hand can brighten someone's day and fill our own hearts with joy. So how do we find that sweet spot between self-care and caring for others? It's about listening to our intuition, setting healthy boundaries, and practicing self-awareness. It's about recognizing when we need to recharge our batteries and when we have the capacity to give to others. It's about being honest with ourselves about our limitations and communicating our needs effectively. Sometimes saying no to a request can be difficult, but it's important to remember that no is a complete sentence. We don't owe anyone an explanation for taking care of ourselves. On the other hand, we can challenge ourselves to step outside of our comfort zones and offer support to others, even when it feels a little uncomfortable. The key is to find a balance that feels sustainable and authentic to who we are. I remember a time when I was feeling completely overwhelmed. I was working long hours, juggling multiple projects, and trying to be everything to everyone. I was exhausted, stressed, and running on fumes. I was so busy taking care of everyone else that I completely neglected my own needs. I wasn't sleeping well, I wasn't eating healthy, and I had zero time for myself. One day I woke up feeling completely depleted. I knew something had to change. That's when I realized I had to start prioritizing my own well-being. I started small. I began incorporating short walks into my day, making time for a relaxing bath, and saying no to commitments that felt draining. It wasn't easy at first. I felt guilty for taking time for myself, but I knew it was necessary. Slowly but surely, I started to feel more energized, more focused, and more capable of showing up for others. One of the biggest obstacles to finding this balance is guilt. We might feel guilty for taking time for ourselves when others need us, or we might feel guilty for not doing enough to help others. It's important to remember that guilt is a wasted emotion. Instead of dwelling in guilt, we can choose to approach these situations with compassion and understanding. We can acknowledge our limitations and recognize that we're doing the best we can with the resources we have. We can also practice self-forgiveness. We all make mistakes. The important thing is to learn from them and move forward with grace. Remember, self-compassion is not selfish. It's essential for our well-being and for our ability to connect with others in a meaningful way. When we prioritize both self-care and caring for others, we create a positive ripple effect that extends far beyond ourselves. When we take care of our own needs, we show up as our best selves in our relationships, our work, and our communities. We're more patient, more understanding, and more capable of offering genuine support to those around us. And when we extend kindness and compassion to others, we inspire them to do the same. Imagine a world where everyone felt empowered to prioritize their well-being and to extend kindness to others. It would be a world filled with empathy, connection, and a shared sense of purpose. While we can't control the actions of others, we can control our own. And by choosing to live from a place of balance, we can make a positive impact on the world, one interaction at a time. Finding the perfect balance between self-love and love for others is an ongoing journey, not a destination. There will be days when we feel more connected to ourselves, and days when we feel more drawn to helping others. There will be times when we overextend ourselves, and times when we need to retreat and recharge. And that's okay, it's all part of the process. The important thing is to approach this journey with self-compassion and a willingness to learn and grow. It's about embracing the imperfections and celebrating the small victories along the way. Remember, we're all in this together. We're all navigating the complexities of life, love, and everything in between. And by supporting each other, we can create a world where everyone feels seen, heard, and valued. The journey to finding harmony between self-love and love for others is a deeply personal one. There's no one-size-fits-all approach. What works for one person may not work for another. The key is to experiment, to listen to our intuition, and to find what feels authentic and sustainable for us. It's about creating a life that feels aligned with our values and that allows us to show up as our best selves for ourselves and for others. It's about recognizing that self-care is not selfish and that caring for others is not a burden but a privilege. It's about finding that sweet spot where we can honor both our own needs and the needs of those we love. And it's about embracing the journey, imperfections and all, knowing that we're all in this together. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever struggled with finding the balance between self-love and love for others? What strategies have you found helpful in navigating this delicate dance? Share your experiences in the comments below. Let's create a space where we can learn from each other and support each other on this journey of love, compassion, and personal growth.